All right, we're back. It's the Heatening, it's Hoop. And I'm going to talk about a shitty one today. I'm talk about body image. I don't think I've done this one already. Gotten to the point where I don't remember all the episodes we've done. I have a list where I have ideas and I cross them off, but sometimes there's repeats on there. So who knows? But let's talk about body image stuff. And if this is something that is sensitive for you, fucking skip it, because shit's hard. So yeah, for me, you know, I'm a dude. That's how I identify. It's what I am. I don't care, whatever. I have had body image issues since I hit puberty. I have had eating disorders since I hit puberty. It sucks. I never thought I was attractive. I always thought I was ugly or fat or goofy looking or something. And so I would try and dress how I thought was cool. And it never worked. I was never someone who could look cool. If there was like a fad, I could participate in the baseline, but I, like, you know, in middle school and high school, I just, like, it wouldn't translate to my body. You know what I mean? Like, when I got to be a little older, I hit a growth spurt and then was very skinny. Like, even before the drugs, like, I was very skinny, which helped. But then, like, with the hair, and that was a big thing. And I could never get my hair to look cool. And then it was like, I didn't live in a place where I could, like, dress in, like, the tight pants and the little band shirts and not just be called a faggot all the time. You know, which doesn't really anything with, like, the body image stuff particularly, but it kind of is, because it's still me just, like, not liking the way I look, even though that's, like, an external factor because I was bullied for, like, how I chose to look. That being said, like, I mean, Jesus Christ, like, almost everyone I know, especially every girl, woman, whatever that I know, has or has had some sort of body dysmorphia or eating disorder or something like that, and it's fucked up. It's very common. Like, it is very common for people to have various forms of eating disorders or body dysmorphia related things that then motivate you to deal with your body in a not healthy way. You know, I feel like you can get into the weeds pretty quickly with, like, what's a healthy way to look at yourself in a not healthy way, and, like, the very thin line of, like, gym culture and fitness culture and workout culture and all this stuff where it's like an obsession versus, like, maintenance. You know what I mean? Like, if you're addicted to going to the gym or not, like, if you're healthy or if you're just anorexic, you know, if you're counting calories and all that stuff, like, in a healthy way or in a not healthy way. And it creeps upon you very quickly. I'm proud of a lot of my friends who are dealing with these things in a healthy way. I have a lot of friends who got off social media, who have to limit, you know, that kind of stuff because they get sucked into these, like, I'm not as skinny as this person. I'm not as buff as this person. My hair doesn't look like this, whatever. So I'm going to, you know, do whatever I can to get there. And it's pretty gnarly. You know, I know people who, like, were on steroids to get bigger because they wanted to be, you know, big and huge. I know people who had, like, really intense bulimia and really intense anorexia because they wanted to look a certain way. I know people who have, you know, like, completely just, like, fucked up their hair because they needed it to look a certain way. People who have gotten, it's just, like, a whole thing, you know? Like, I've talked about, like, cosmetic surgery on here before, like plastic surgery and stuff. And like, I know a lot of people who have gotten that, you know, and some people are really into it. Some people grew to regret it, or it didn't come out the way they wanted, or whatever. It's tough, man. It's really tough. I struggle with that shit every day. You know what I mean? But it's also like, I can put myself in this, like, Zen state of mind almost, where it's like, I'm not doing anything super healthy, but I'm not really doing anything super unhealthy. This is just kind of like the way my body looks, and I can do very easy things to kind of, like, tighten this up here or alter this there. I can, you know, groom this a little better to look whatever, but also, like, I don't know if I really care. You know what I mean? I go through those phases of, like, caring a lot and then not caring at all. That's just, like, me personally, though. But It's tough, and it's really it gets really sad and really depressing and really lonely when you think you're ugly, or you think you're fat, or you think you're unattractive. I've never thought I was attractive. I'm not looking for any compliments. Not that I'm going to get any from a fucking podcast, but you know what I mean? It's like, I've never thought I was like hot, like commercially, like conventionally hot. Like, I have grown to accept myself, and I have grown to like myself, or even love myself, and realize that like I like no one like really looks good or bad. It's just like there's a whole lot of things that really play into like if someone's hot or not, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? There's more to being hot and attractive than just like your rigid physical appearance, but you don't really realize that when you're young, and so then you like program yourself into thinking things that you then have to like, you know, unlearn when you're older, which I've been trying to do, and it definitely like I feel better about myself because I'm never going to be like supermodel guy, but also like I don't really think supermodel guys are that happy. I don't know, man. Like, the older I've gotten, the older a lot of my friends have gotten, the more you kind of like realize that all that stuff's kind of silly. And like, obviously, like there is like neurological stuff involved with like some parts of like body image issues that people have, and that, you know, I recommend that you get help, you know, if you can, like I had said a couple episodes before. But that being said, like, I don't know, now it's like I'm not as concerned with my physical appearance. I'm not as concerned with like others' physical appearances anymore. It took a long time for me to get there. I wish it came sooner, but it is what it is. But I mean, that being said, I don't like what I see when I look in the mirror. I can always find something to improve in the micro or the macro. You know what I mean? There's always stuff that like I could do to think that I look better, to look more like, quote, what I want to look like. But if I'm being honest, I don't know what I want to look like. I have no idea what I would want to look like if I like had like a genie who said I could like, you know, do whatever I wanted with my body. I don't fucking know. You know, I don't really look at myself. I don't really do that shit. I just started like trying to do that more, and like, I don't know, like if you know me in real life, like I have a beard and long hair, and that's not like some cool thing that I decided to do. It's literally because I fucking was tired of trying to get like a good hairstyle. You know, so I just stopped cutting my hair because like I could never get like a haircut that looked cool to me. So I gave up, and I just haven't cut my hair in years. You know, I grew a beard because I could, but also because like I don't like the way my face looks, and I can kind of like hide my face. You know, it's just how it is. Like, I wear my work clothes because I have a lot of them and I don't really care. You know, I've had the same clothes for years because I'm not really worried about it. And it becomes contradictory because I will notice like other people looking good and attractive, but then it's like I don't look good, so I don't really have much room to talk. You know what I mean? It becomes that whole thing, but I don't want to make this all about me, but I'm sure that that's relatable to some degree for people. You know what I mean? We look at ourselves, we look at other people, we compare, we contrast, there's like a weird thing, at least I do, where it's like I'm not hot enough to talk to that person. I'm not hot enough to whatever, or you know what I mean? And it's like, I think that that's really fucked, and I don't know if I really believe that anymore, but that was like the way I thought for a very long time. I know other people do too, like the whole like league, you know, she's out of my league. There's no one out of your league. If you're listening to this right now, trust me, like no one is out of your league. Like, just fucking, you're beautiful, man. Like and that's not the whole like everyone's pretty in their own way, but like that's fucking whatever. But like, you look great. You look fine. You do. Everyone just looks fine. Don't worry about it that much. You know what I mean? Like, people like you for a lot of other reasons aside from your body. And if they only like you for your body, they don't fucking like you. They just like your body. Sorry, dog. That's kind of like the way it is. You know? And with the body image stuff, sometimes that can be reinforced by other people, by external factors. You know, my girlfriend will leave me if I gain weight. My boyfriend wants me to get tits, or else he's going to find someone else. Like, if that's the case, then like that's fucked, and you definitely have a problem, but it's not you. You know what I mean? Like, you can have body image stuff put upon you, and it will still fuck with you just the same, but it's not your doing, it's not your fault if people around you are fucking assholes when it comes to your body and what you do with it and what they want to do with it and what they want you to do with it. You know what I mean? Parents call you fat, shut the fuck up, mom. You know, your boyfriend calls you fat, time for you to get a new boyfriend. You know what I mean? Your wife calls you fat, time to get a new wife. Like, it's really that simple. I don't know. Like, the older I get, the least I just don't have patience for like that shit anymore. So like, if people are going to make you feel like shit about your appearance of all things, like something that you kind of like can't really fix, you can't really change. Fix isn't the wrong word because there's nothing fucking wrong with you. You know, unless it's like a medical fucking thing, but even then it's a completely different conversation. But it's like, I don't know. If you liked me and then 6 months later you don't like me anymore because I'm not going to the gym because we're hanging out and I have a little bit of a beer gut, like, fuck you. Like, fine, then get the fuck out. You're like, I'm not going to feel like shit about that. Like, go find someone who works out more. I don't know. It's just like, it just sucks because so many people feel so shitty about the way they look, and it's so easy to reinforce that on purpose or by accident, and it's so hard to convince someone that they look good.